Mahashate comes through for us last weekend at UFC Vegas 91 as a lock of the night play, but that was not really a lock of the night worthy performance in my opinion, as it did end up going to a split decision, and I was holding my breath when the judges were, or at least when Joe Martinez was reading off the scorecards there. Luckily, we get the bounce in our way, but that's what we want to avoid. We're looking to avoid anything that's going to be a sweat, trying to go out there and just try to get a flat out dub and try to get this lock of the night accuracy rate back up into the 70s, 80% hit rates, but got to tighten it up even more. I'm happy with the dub, don't get me wrong, but still to have to sweat it out that much, that's not what a lock of the night should be at all. Speaking about what a lock of the night should not be at all, it was the LFA lock of the night that we had with Nicholas July, I believe his name was, knocked out in 11 or 12 seconds. You know, that's just the roll of the dice sometimes with MMA, and you don't know, whether there's going to be a quick one-punch knockout or if it ends up going to a split decision. You can only take what you get pre-fight, doing the tape, doing the studying, and then hoping that they showcase the tendencies that you've seen from them in the past, and hoping they can go out there and showcase that once again to the maximum effectiveness. Again, didn't work out for either of the lock of the night plays in terms of the execution inside the cage, but luckily with one of them we end up cashing. The other one, we have to rip up the ticket. So on the weekend, we go 1-1 on lock of the night predictions or lock of the night plays, minus 2.5 units, minus 25% ROI there. Again, a little bit of a stumble back after having a solid prior 2 weekends before that. So that now brings our yearly record for the lock of the night plays to 29-18, minus 18.46 units and minus 8% ROI. Not liking that number. Hopefully we can get that back up as we continue on down the road. All right, this weekend we got UFC 301. Obviously, I got another 3 lock of the night candidates for you guys. There's a lot of chalk on this card that I feel comes through relatively easily, but there's a couple of spots here. I didn't want to get into the minus 500s, minus 600s and throw those out at you guys. I believe some of them are parlayable. So I was looking at some of the, less chalkier favorites to hone in on as potential lock of the night candidates. Obviously, one of these are the ones that I chose as my official lock of the night for UFC 301. So if you want to find out which of these 3 I ended up going with, check out the lock of the night Patreon page. Link to that in the description below. All right, let's get right on track here. First one up I got for you guys is going to be Diani Barbosa, who comes in at minus 200 as she takes on Dana White Contender Series alum Ernesta Carrascate. This is clearly a grappler versus striker matchup, and Barbosa is a BJJ black belt and a judo black belt, and you often see her looking to take opponents to the ground and find submissions, or at least control them over the course of 15 minutes to get her hand raised on the scorecards. She's improving her striking game over there at King's MMA, and Carrascate has shown takedown defense issues in the past, but she has managed to battle back in some of those spots, nullifying the control time of her opponents by landing more damaging blows on the feet. But I do think that Barbosa will be the toughest grappler that she has faced to date, and we'll see Barbosa utilize her style effectively once again, getting this fight to the ground, and maybe even finding a submission later on in this matchup. But as long as she wins straight up, that should help cash a possible lock of the night play. The second candidate I have for you guys is going to be Maurizio Huffy, who's taking on Jamie Mullarkey. He comes in at minus 185. Mullarkey has been finished by knockout 3 times in the last 2 years. Not a good look. Last time around, getting knocked out by Nasrat Haqparast, although he's a striker, doesn't have a lot of knockout victories on his record, at least in the UFC. So maybe it's a showcase of Mullarkey's deteriorating durability, which is going to be a bad sign for him here against Huffy, who loves to throw straight down the pipe and try to knock his opponents out. I think Huffy will do a good job in terms of keeping this fight upright, as Mullarkey will be looking to take it to the ground to mix the martial arts. But I think eventually Huffy will open up that counter opportunity for himself to land that straight down the pipe, land on Mullarkey's chin, and put him out cold. Give me Huffy at minus 185 as the second lock of the night candidate. The third and final lock of the night candidate I have for you guys is going to be the Kyrgyzstani fighter Miktaibek Earlby, who comes in at minus 250 as he takes on the streaking Elvis Brenner, who has already pulled off 2 big upset victories through his 3 UFC fights. Aggressive fighter, training out of the same camp as Charles Oliveira, but Earlby is a very different beast. He's 12-1-1, with that one loss being a very controversial decision loss that even his opponent thought that he had won. Earlby is a relentless grappler, wrestler, and does a great job in terms of taking his opponents to the ground and smashing him from that top position. He has the ability to go a hard 15 minutes if he needs to, and I think he can do that here against Brenner pretty effectively. His striking is improving a lot, but I wouldn't trust him too much to go out there and just strike with Brenner for the course of 15 minutes. Look for the relentless grappling approach from Earlby to go out there, grind this fight out, and cash a possible lock of the night ticket. Again, which of these 3 did I end up going with? Check the lock of the night Patreon page in the description below. You guys can get it there, see what the hoopla is about, and hopefully we can cash it this weekend. Also, this weekend we'll have 2 more lock of the night plays, as we also have OKTAGON 57 and LFA 183 going down. So if you want breakdowns for those, check out the it'll be in written form. Those will also be on the lock of the night Patreon page. Make sure you check that out. Link in the description below. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the top 3 dog of the night candidates that we have for UFC 301. See you then. Peace.